All right, folks, good evening and welcome back to another episode of Is This Really Happening? I may actually name my channel that. I don't know. But you can see here from the story I have up, Sheepdog Smokey here, by the way. I'm still getting used to this, so we're growing together. But you can see here by the photo here in the headline. This is from the AP. AP definitely not a conservative source. I don't know that I consider them ultra one or the other. They tend to just report literally everything. But I'm sorry, the writing here is leading. I don't know that I really call them news anymore. I call them media. But you can see here, Utah teacher apologizes for Ash Wednesday cross incident. Salt Lake City AP, a Utah teacher on administrative leave, apologized Monday for making a 9-year-old Catholic student, William McLeod, wash off the Ash Wednesday cross from his forehead, saying it was a misunderstanding. She thought it was dirt. Now, the problem I have here, because see, she is saying this is something that happens when people aren't necessarily exposed to other cultures or other religions. Don't know why that's worded that way. It's not always mean or misspirited. She hopes that we can build trust and we can come together and we can build understanding. But I'm gonna lean in here with the grandmother. Karen Fisher, William's grandmother, said she's not quite ready to accept the apology because Patterson pressed the boy to remove the symbol even after he explained its significance twice. It's kind of hard to swallow a little for me, she said. And it is for me too. And I'm going to show you something. Now, you'll see here I have another tab open Google. And we're not going to go to it yet because I want to set something up. I've taught a few times in the past. Pardon me. I have subbed for several teachers, a couple of long-term gigs. I'm also not Catholic. I am Baptist. Now, I will admit I have studied philosophy, which includes world religions, probably more than most. But I would think most teachers have. I love the study of history, which includes the study of politics and religion. You can't separate those subjects. So if I saw someone with what I thought to be dirt on their forehead, then I get a look at it and I notice it's in the shape of a cross, my mind is going to jump to Ash Wednesday. It just is. It's going to think, of course, I'm also going to know, oh, we're not far from Easter, so that's going to reinforce it. Now she's saying that she doesn't know, but who doesn't walk around with a computer in their pocket if you're awake and not in the shower? I know some people wear waterproof watches. Who doesn't walk around? This phone is a computer that could have launched Apollo 11, gotten men to the moon, and brought them back. That's how powerful our technology is today. So we walk around with that. If I didn't know, or even just have an inkling that it was Ash Wednesday or it was something to do with this. Now, I also made sure that I got to know my students when I was long-term teaching and when I was not subbing. So I would know what's going on. And they're going to drop little words. Well, Father so-and-so. That is a big indicator to me. Father so-and-so. I have never once called my pastor father. He's pastor, preacher, sometimes brother, but never father. That's going to tell me Presbyterian, maybe Episcopalian, or likely Catholic. Now, in those three, I know one that has a very strong tie to ritual observance of their faith. But if, even after all of that, I don't know for sure, I have a computer in my pocket. I can come to Google. Religious symbol, dirt on forehead. Look at the first response, Ash Wednesday. Look at the photos that come up for Ash Wednesday. Actually, religious symbol, dirt on forehead. Look at what comes up. What is Ash Wednesday? Literally, for someone, is that schmutz on everyone's forehead? Literally, gift-wrapped information this teacher could have pulled up in seconds to find out what's going on and to basically not call her student a liar. He explained it twice, and she still made him wash it off. And now she is the one saying, well, this is something that happens when we're not always exposed to other religions. I don't care to hear that. I want to hear, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I was wrong. This entire thing rings to me of, well, you can't blame me. I'm not Catholic, so you can't blame me. He should have told me more. No, he shouldn't have. A 9-year-old should not have to tell a teacher more than once, no, I'm, no, this, Miss Patterson, this is Ash Wednesday. This is from my church. Once should be enough. Even if that once means you talk to your supervisor, you call someone, you look it up on your computer in your pocket. This teacher, I don't know that I want her fired. I'm not the kind of person that says, oh, one mistake, you're fired. I believe that the time she's had off, maybe an official counseling of, Miss Patterson, if there's something you're not sure about, but it's not a big thing, maybe you should, you know, you have Google, you have us you can reach out to. If, especially if a student tells you twice that it's a religious symbol, we have all these people crying and moaning and screaming that a cross on an easement by a highway is a violation of the First Amendment. But when we have someone who works for the public school system who forces a 9-year-old to do something that is actually a violation of their faith, oh, well, she just didn't understand. No, that's not it. That's actually worse in my mind. And I will be the first to tell you the First Amendment is Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. It does not say public road easements. It does not say public parks. It does not say the lawn outside of a courthouse. It does not say a public school teacher. So in my mind, this would have been, okay, maybe a couple of days off so that everybody cools down. She needs to apologize properly. And we need to let her know that if she's not sure of something, but a student has told her, this is from my church, this is a religious thing, you don't say, well, wipe it off anyway. Now, fourth graders, they're not as socialized as middle or high schoolers. I guarantee if this had happened in a high school, there would have been one or two students who would have been said, Miss Patterson, no, it's Ash Wednesday. You get that you get that from the priest. I really hope that had this been high school and this happened, she would have stopped. But I know there are a lot of people on both sides of the political divide who would have said, no, sit down, wash that off. I'm in charge. We have one in the House of Representatives right now. Until you come up with a better idea and do it, I'm the boss. This attitude has to stop. The attitude of, I don't want to see anyone's religion, but you have to see mine. Or I don't want to see anyone's politics, but I'm going to show mine. I don't want anyone to do anything I don't like, but I'm going to do everything I like to do, whether you like it or not. And that is this attitude, even in a minimal sense of, I'm in charge, and I say, I don't care what you told me, wipe that off. Now, right now, Utah Senator Todd Weiler, a Republican, has said that yes, it is something when people are not necessarily exposed to other religions. So that's his statement, and in part that's true, but I've never been exposed to Catholicism. Sorry about that. I've known Catholics, but we were friends outside of church. I have been to a Catholic church for, cookouts in the neighborhood where they let people use the parking lot or whatnot. Used to drive a go-kart on a parking lot of a Catholic church on weekends. But that was the extent of my exposure to Catholicism until college when I studied world religions. And now world religions are being taught in public schools. Why are the teachers not required to also be taught these things? We have schools that are requiring teachers to let Muslims go for prayer 5 times a day, or their five prayers a day. We have schools saying you can't bring pork to school at all because Muslims can't have pork. We're literally forcing schools to change policy for Islam, but a Catholic student who tells his teacher twice it's Ash Wednesday is still forced to remove a symbol of his faith, while other students are basically encouraged to have theirs. We hear about equality all the time. We're not equal. We're living in Animal Farm. Some animals, or all animals, are equal. Some animals are more equal than others. Orwell is spinning in his grave going, I called this, didn't I? And it has to stop. Until it does, we're going to see more and more problems. We're going to see more and more stories like this. We're going to see it get to a point where basically parents will say, no, my child won't be attending on Ash Wednesday because in our faith we leave the ash cross on our forehead all day long. And I can't be assured that some teacher won't say wash it off. And other things like it. We have to, and I'm not saying scream boycott. I'm not saying scream fire her, fire her, fire her. I'm not saying ruin a life. I'm saying educate the uneducated. And yes, in this instance, on this topic, I will call Moana Patterson uneducated. And it should not be that way. She is a public school teacher. She is presumably an educator. At their core, every educator should be a lifelong student. Very simply. So we need to stop this. Well, I didn't know, so I'm sorry I didn't know. And you can't say anything else to me. We have toddlers sent home and parents told they sexually assaulted their teacher because a toddler wanted to give his teacher a hug. I'm sorry. No. We need to bring logic back into the world. As Deadpool says, common sense is a superpower, and unfortunately, it's more and more true every day. But that's it for now. Make sure and leave a comment below. Stay civil. Love a good debate, but civility is the core of debate. Make sure and leave a like and a subscribe. That way you can stay up to date with me. I've also updated my About page. I'm also going to try and do this on all of the video descriptions, to where I've got an email address. Of course, I run my own server predominantly, so I can create my own email addresses however I want. But if there's a topic you'd like to see, you know, there's a history lesson you've heard is being taught wrong. There is a historical event that you'd like to know about. A great one I'll give an example of, and I'll spoil it for you right now. The movie 300 is wrong. Thermopylae is a beach. There is no cliff. There was no push them into the sea moment where they fall off a cliff. There was no standing 100 feet up watching ships battered by the sea. That was Hollywood. Fun scene to watch. And I watched that full well knowing that was wrong. So if there are even little things like that you'd like to see, if there are historical events or things you'd like to know more about, and you want someone who spent several years in college learning how to research history, hit me in the comments here. Send me an email. If I use it to make a video, I'm going to send you a pocket constitution, if you want me to, because in my mind, everyone should know that document. I carry one with me 24/7. It's in my possession all day long. The only time it's not on my person, when I'm asleep and when I shower. That's it. Every other minute of the day, I have a copy of the Constitution, and I've used it many times. So, again, leave a like and a subscribe. Leave a comment. Just keep it civil because, again, civility is the core of debate. Until next time, you guys have a wonderful night.